How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today's lesson 8, a trading system in Edge. The reason I wanted to cover this briefly is because we've already established the difference between these two things. Trading structure, which I'm focusing on mainly in this course, and this right here, this trading structure will help you develop this, your trading system. Now, I've been talking about you put the trading system inside the trading structure so it's nice and safe. Well, the reason I want to cover this is one, I feel like there's a bunch of folks who have really good content over this already on YouTube. I don't want to just reinvent the wheel and constantly be like, hey, let's just talk about this again. Here's my system, blah, 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 and just waste some more time. The reason I wanted to cover it is that when we go through this course, as we develop this structure, it's going to be really important to me that you understand how to develop your own system, because I'm not going to do the same exact things you want to do, the same time frames, the same stocks, the same everything. You may want to have MACD instead of Vortex. That's fine. Maybe you want to go off the 1 year chart, or maybe like a 400-day chart. I don't know, maybe the 5-day chart. It's totally fine. So I want to make sure that you have an idea of how to develop a system yourself, and taking from someone else is totally fine to a certain extent. But I want to ask some questions and pose these to you so that when you go through this course, so when you go through someone else's information, you develop your own, maybe you can ask yourself a few questions and to make this a little bit more refined for yourself, to where you're like, okay, this is a good system, but how can I put my own spin on it, my own edge on it? How can I make it better for myself? So with that being said, lesson 8, I have 6 different questions I want to ask just so we go through this course, just so when you leave me eventually and go watch other stuff and learn other things, you can actually ask these questions to make this right here, your little baby system, as good as possible. So that being said, lesson 8, edge and system, let's get into it. So these are really basic questions. I just wanted to kind of pose these and answer these for you. And these are questions you heard in high school, middle school. Who, what, where, when, why, how. That's it. I want to just make sure when you make a trading system, you ask these questions. Who, what, where, when, why, how. If you can answer these 6 questions with a trading system, you are on the right track. Now, there's more minuscule, detail-oriented things you have to ask yourself. But if these 6 questions can be answered, at least you can think about in the process of developing it, you'll be much better off than without these. So first of all is who. So when it comes to a trading system, I ask you who. I'm mainly asking, who are you, right? What is the mental analysis behind who you are? Now, we're going to cover that in lessons like 30 and beyond with mental analysis. But as you go through this course, make sure you know who you are. That sounds dumb, but it's a question you have to ask yourself. Do you know your risk management policy? Do you know how you internally tick? What's your psychology? Can you hold through red days better than others? Can you stick to a plan? Are you patient? Are you mature? Or do you know, as much as you hate to admit it, you're pretty impatient? Maybe you want to risk it all and go for big numbers. What about yourself do you know that makes you tick and makes you leave your plan? Because if you can analyze your system and develop your system to where it's working with you and not against you, that's probably a great thing to think about. Secondly, this is your strategy. This is your system. This has to be said as well. The more people who use your strategy, the worse it is. I'm going to say it again. The more people who use your strategy, most likely the worse it is. I like to think about edges and strategies like a pie. If you have a pie like this, oh, a nice little pie, and you developed your own system like I did with the swing trading that I do, and it's only you who uses it, and it's not shared, you're not out here trying to get everyone else to do it, you have the whole pie to yourself. You can take as many slices as you want, you can modify it as you want, you're not sharing the outcome. Most folks who are professionals would probably agree that the more folks who do an edge, the worse it is, because you have to share the profits with somebody else. The stock market works with taking profit. You have to sell to somebody who's buying. If you all have the same exact edge of running a stock up and pumping and then everyone sells at the same time, you're going to get left bag holdings, less pie to go around. So I implore you, yeah, you can do short squeezes. Yeah, you can do pump and dumps. Yeah, you can do hype stocks. But when it comes to your edge, you usually act on outside of these hype things. Make sure the edge is yours. You're not just borrowing somebody else's, because it may work for a little bit. When it comes to optimization, that's not the goal. This has to be yours. You have to make it. Third, with the who question is, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of reflect on your priming steps, right? You want to take a second, think about risk management, analysis, goal setting, macro markets, trading plan, consistency. We think about who, how do you as a person reflect on this and our trading structure? So again, the first question's who? Who are you? How do you operate? And is it your strategy? Yes or no? After that is what? Well, what ticker are you focusing on and why? What kind of pattern is it? What sector is it in? What are the macro markets doing? All the questions you can ask for what is ... should be here. What is your risk management policy always going to be with this edge? What are your micro macro goals? What is your trading plan? All the questions you can ask yourself about your trading system with what is ... Just think about it, right? Go from macro to micro. Works the best way in my opinion. What is the trading system? What is the trading plan? What is the risk management? What are the tickers you're going to focus? What sectors you're going to focus? What's the business cycle? Think about these things as you go through this course. What is the technical analysis patterns we're going to focus? What is the fundamental points this is going to focus? What is the mental analysis this is going to focus? All those things, give yourself 5-10 minutes. Think about as you develop this. What is ... That's critical. Third, where? Well, where is this ticker located at? Where is this system going to? Is this in a specific sector? What index is it in? Where is this stock headed? Is the trend up? Is the trend down? Is it a wedge consolidating? Where is this stock headed? Is every trade gonna have a consistent where is it headed idea? Are they all up? Are they all down? Are they all bouncing off a certain EMA line? Where is the trend? Where is this headed? Where is the risk? Where is the reward? All these types of things. You can go as far when thinking about where questions for your edge. Where is this company located? Is it a Chinese established stock? Is it in Africa? Is it the United States? Is it a certain state in the United States? Where is this bad boy located? Right? That's going to make a huge difference with macro markets and goals as well, and especially with trends across the global markets of GDP, inflation, all these types of things. So think about the where questions. Is this even a ticker that you can go to a mortar and brick and mortar store to buy something? Is it digital? Where is the CEO think this company is headed? All the questions for a trading system. Where is ... Where's this ticker headed trend-wise? Where's it head fundamentally? Where is it globally on the map? Think about it for your mental analysis and your edge as we get this class started. Fourth one, when? Well, what time frame are you working off of, right? When we ask the question of when is this going to be a 180-day, 4-hour chart trading system? Is it going to be a scalping system? 1 year, 5 year, 10 year? All are totally fine. Identify what time frame you want to use. You can also think about length of hold. I want this to be held from 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you identify time frame and how long I'm going to hold the stock for. And then with when as well. What month is it? Maybe in October, November, December, you have a whole different plan than January, February, March compared to April, May, and June. I do. I know from April, May, June, July, August, September, markets are pretty slow. I'm much less aggressive. But in October, November, December, that trading system gets ramped up. I'm trying to find as much things as possible. When is it in the business cycle? Are we in expansion? Is there a lot of inflation? Good GDP? Ask these kinds of questions, because as times change, as the when is ... questions change, you may have to trade your plan just a little bit as well. So think about that. Time frames, length of hold, historical data you want to look at, when in the business cycle we are, all questions you should be asking for your system. Second to last, and these kind of go together, is why and how. I think a good rule of thumb is this. If you have a wife or a husband, brother, sister, best friend, or a kid, can you explain why you're taking this trade in general? Can you? If you can't explain to a 5 or 10-year-old, hey, Billy, here's why I think I'm going to buy this ticker. If you can't explain that to a 5-year-old, and at worst case, your significant other, you got a problem with your edge. It shouldn't be overly complicated. Keep it simple, stupid. Make sure you can explain why to a 5-year-old. That goes hand in hand with the last one. Explain how you're going to execute this trade to a 10-year-old. Well, Billy, this is a low price. I like value purchasing. This is a good value based on the things I like. I'm going to buy it because I want to go up. Okay, sir. It's that simple. If you cannot explain why and how you're going to execute this trade, don't take it. Work on your edge. So last thing I want to do here is really kind of harp on you and be like, your edge has to be this. I personally have a very simple edge. It's just buying value swing trades that have technical convergence and the fundamentals look good. It's about as complicated it has to be. When I first started, my edge is based more off of very clear and easy risk versus reward. And I still do that, but like a horizontal channel is easy to read. I would just say the exact thing I just said, plus horizontal channels or channel ups, whatever it may be. You can even throw into your own edge, must be above a certain EMA line, must have this, the PE ratio must be below blank. That's all totally fine as well. I just wanted to pose these questions to you because I want to make sure when you get into this class and get this bad boy moving, you can understand that I personally swing trade. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want to do. But if you can't answer, if I were to ask you who, what, when, where, why, and how, if I ask you these 6 questions, your edge operates, you gotta go back to the drawing board. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure it's simple. With that being said, lesson 9 is technical analysis. We're gonna hop right into it. We're gonna talk all about supports and resistances. I can't wait. Y'all, let's get into it.